Have you ever tried to learn a new language? Ich bin ein Berliner. It takes time and effort. It doesn't come quickly. Well, there's a language that each of us needs to learn, and it's the language of personal revelation. Or in other words, understanding how the Lord speaks to us. It's April 1829 in Harmony, Pennsylvania. Joseph had the plates again and was trying to find the time to translate them. But between running a farm, building a cabin, earning money, helping his in-laws, and not having a permanent scribe, he was making very little progress. His wife Emma tried to help whenever she had time, but she was also very busy with all that she had to do. In frustration, Joseph cried unto the Lord to help him find a way to continue translating. And the Lord said he would provide. A miracle was about to happen. Meanwhile, back in Palmyra, Joseph's family had a new school teacher living with them. It was the custom back then to have the teacher live with one of the families. Awkward! This teacher's name was Oliver Cowdery. Oliver was a seeker, an honest seeker of truth. He'd heard stories about spiritual goings-on at the Smith home and began to ask questions of the family. At first, they were really hesitant to answer any questions because of all the mocking and rejection they'd received. But soon, they saw Oliver was sincere and spent a long evening answering his questions. Afterwards, he spent the night alone pondering and praying. He cried unto the Lord in his heart and tuned in to feel and hear the answer. And the Lord spoke peace to his mind. Oliver had his answer that the message was true and that he would have the honor of writing for Joseph. What an incredible answer! As soon as he could arrange it, Oliver took the long, difficult journey to Pennsylvania to offer Joseph his help. A couple of 100 miles back then, on foot, in the spring cold and mud, wasn't easy. Thus we see that both Joseph's and Oliver's prayers were answered, and God had put the right people in the right place where they were needed. When Oliver first arrived at Joseph and Emma's cabin in Harmony, he wanted a personal manifestation that Joseph was really a prophet. The answer is found in section 6. In it, Oliver was told about the night that the Lord spoke peace to his mind. What greater witness can you have than from God? Oliver hadn't told anyone about that night, so when Joseph spoke about it, it was proof to Oliver that Joseph was indeed the Lord's chosen prophet. There was no other way Joseph could have known about that night. Oliver began working as scribe, writing down the words as Joseph translated the Book of Mormon by the power of God. And now that Joseph had a great helper, they were able to work continually. Oliver said that Joseph never lost his place, never repeated himself, and when they took a break, he always knew exactly where to start again without asking. Almost all of the translation of the Book of Mormon, all 531 pages, took place during a 3-month period from April to June in 1829. Oliver recalled, "I know that this Book of Mormon was translated by the gift and power of God. My eyes saw, my ears heard, and my understanding was touched, and I know that whereof I testified is true. It was real." That translation process was really cool, and Oliver also wanted to try translating. I mean, how hard could it be? The Lord said Oliver could translate if he desired and was prepared. So he tried, and couldn't do it. He discovered that what Joseph was doing was really difficult. Oliver asked the Lord why he wasn't able to do it, and his answer came in section 9. You took no thought, save it was to ask. In other words, Oliver just asked to translate without putting in the time and effort to prepare himself. Do we ever ask for blessings like that? The Lord gave further counsel to Oliver on how to understand revelation, saying he would either feel a burning in his bosom or a stupor of thought. That specific direction applied to Oliver. But for many of us, the only burning in our bosom we feel is heartburn after eating a spicy meatball. You see, the Lord speaks to each of us in different ways, according to our personalities, preparation, learning styles, and spiritual gifts. Some people have visions and dreams, and some just have peace and confidence. But they're all answers from the Lord. How do we know? Well, have you ever been in love? Could you describe the exact feeling to someone else? What are you feeling in your heart and mind when you're in love?
Well, it's really hard to describe.
Yeah, for everyone it's different. And it may be as hard to define the feeling of love as it is to define exactly how you receive personal revelation. In Doctrine and Covenants, Section 8, the Lord teaches He will tell us in our heart and mind by the Holy Ghost. Okay, but how does it feel when the Holy Ghost speaks to our heart? It could be a strong emotion, burning, peace, goosebumps, warm fuzzies, tears, as well as many other feelings. We're told in Galatians, some of the feelings we may have are love, joy, peace, gentleness, goodness, and faith. And what about when the Lord speaks to our mind? It could be inspiration, a flash of thought, a flood of knowledge, or a prompting to do something. Sometimes you may hear Him as you read the Scriptures, or even hear an actual voice, most often sounding like our own voice and thoughts. Or you might just have an uneasy feeling. Ooh. When we truly desire to learn how the Lord speaks to us, we can ask the Lord to teach us our personal language of revelation. Yep, it's that learning a different language idea, like high school German. Sprechen Sie Deutsch? But though we all hear this personal language differently, our instructor is the master teacher. The more time and effort we devote to learning it and listening for answers, the more we can feel and hear the messages that come from God. The prophet has promised that we can learn our own language of revelation and know for sure, just like Joseph and Oliver learned, that we're listening to the Lord. Don't forget this lesson as the next episode deals with deception and confusion. In the meantime, ask the Lord how you can better hear Him. We hope you enjoyed this presentation.